Check, 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 check. Mic check, check.
One.
Wow, wow, wow. We are back live in studio. We took a break, and I know that you have been listening and doing some recap and revisiting some of the episodes. And I just want to thank you. Welcome to Safe Space. Welcome to the space where we can talk about issues and things that life is throwing at us and how we're navigating it and how we're throwing back at life and talking back to life and how we're managing and how we are just overcoming. And so I hope that these episodes have been a blessing to you. If you have not subscribed yet to our safe space, hit the like button. And I'm going to ask you something else. Hit the share button. We are getting ready to talk about issues that matters and matters of the heart, and we're going to talk about issues that makes us human, issues that makes us overcomers, issues that makes us win, issues that comes at us. However, we've been able to employ wisdom and how we've been able to scripturally handle situation. And so I just want to thank you. And we're trying to do things authentic. We're not trying to redo what's already been done out there. This is live and real life issues. We are not trying to expose no one else but the devil. We're not trying to shame. We're not trying to make it be a platform where you are tuning in just because you want to hear some gossip. This is not the space or the place for gossip. This is where life meets people and people meets life and how they're able to take what's theirs in spite of the challenges, the difficulties. They have been able to navigate. And today, nonetheless, we have in studio someone that is really dear to my husband and I, um, Pastor Darryl Brown, a native Charlottean. So today, folks, you're going to hear from a native, someone who's born and bred in the city that we came in and took over. Hallelujah. So we're going to just dive into this matter. We're going to take it from the beginning. We are just going to get acquainted, and then we are just going to uncover, discover, and then we're going to forge ahead. So I hope that you are ready to listen, to hear. And I just want to say that, we have broken some records in being worldwide. We've gone to 57,000 viewership and listeners all around the world. And to think that this was just a thought manifested that over 57,000 people can tune in, hear something, take away something, and run in the strength of that. Without further ado, Pastor Brown, talk to the Safe Space audience and introduce yourself, sir.
Good morning, and to Pastor Denise Williams, dear leader, friend, and compadre. I do believe that you have taken over the city, but you left a little space, and so we love that you have a safe space. Thank God for being here. Thank God for His power and His presence. And being a Charlatan is really something that this city has really grown, and it has really expanded. Like you said, there are records that are being set. We have pro sports teams. We have now banking centers. Now we're growing at a rate that is really expanding throughout all of the nation. So word is abroad but it's good to be a native. It's good to be someone that was born and raised here. It's good to be someone that saw the growth, that was here before the growth. It's also good to know that in the spirit realm, things have expanded. I think when we came in, it was said that Charlotte was a place where the prophets came to die.
Ha! Oh, you on fire already. I mean, this man came with he has double barrel. I mean, shotgun. He didn't even cock the thing. He just decided to just a bazooka. Okay. And so we're all in already. But we're gonna just kind of slow it down and we're gonna come back to that because you've touched on some great points. But I wanted to talk to the viewers and kind of introduce you. I met you when you came to See I Can.
Yes.
In its inception.
Yes.
And talk to me about that before I tell your story.
Oh.
You know, I like to give people the opportunity. Talk to me about the encounter when you came into contact with us. Just give us a synopsis of your journey, like your journey to coming to Charlotte Emmanuel. Give as much or as little as you choose to.
Okay, well, the process really, I was on my way out of the organized church or out of organized religion. And I kept hearing a voice. And of course, it was on the radio, Midday Miracles. So I would miss lunch. I would do all types of things just so that I could hear this voice. And as a result, again, I'm trying to go out maybe into street ministry, maybe into various other aspects of ministry, but not church. This voice kept speaking. And
so wait a minute. You weren't in church, but you were doing ministry. Yes. Outreach ministry.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about your encounter, your God encounter before you start doing street ministry. Talk to us because there are listeners out there in many depths. They are toe deep, ankle deep, knee deep, waist deep. And so identify with the listeners and tell them before, like, how you came into the saving grace and the knowledge of Jesus and who you are now, sir.
Well, that was, again, the process was being from the streets, addicted to drugs, alcoholic, a lot of criminal behavior attached to the streets, let me say. It was in that element that literally I lost my mind and had no clue whatsoever between right or wrong. With my mind warped, I mean, just totally gone, I kept running into people. So it was one pastor, and this pastor in particular, I used to wash her car or, have interaction with her. And she kept telling me, she said, listen, she said, God has need of you.
Wow.
But as soon as I would wash that car, I would go out and get high or do whatever. But I couldn't shake her. And I'll never forget, at this time, I was doing crazy stuff. I mean, robbing people. I was out there to the point of fighting the police.
Whoa, bad boy.
Yeah, I didn't care. I had no sense.
Wow, innocent you.
Yeah.
Lifting your hands you. Hallelujah you.
Yes.
What?
The same. The self-same.
Talk to us, sir.
It was in that God was really dealing with me through not just necessarily what you would call a religious setting, but it was like God was setting up something. And as God was having me to go through these various issues, it was like this person kept showing up. And as a result, boom, all of it fell down. So I came in, like I said, running from the police, running from the dope dealers, running from people, running from family. Here she comes, and she's coming down the street, and she stopped and backed up.
You mean the servant of the Lord?
Yes.
Yes.
And here it is, she said to me, she stopped, she rolled down the window, she said, you're coming to church this Sunday or else
Wow.
I'm coming to get you.
Whoa.
And this was like Friday. And again, I'm thinking, who is she talking to? You know, and she went on. She didn't qualify it or justify it. She went on and it got stuck and that seed was planted.
Wow.
And for some reason, all that crooked stuff, all of them ways that I had, I could not shake it.
Wow.
So this was like Friday. I didn't drink, didn't smoke, and I had one clean shirt. Pants were straight out.
Talk to us, sir.
The pants were just straight off the floor in the dirty stuff, but I had one clean white shirt. And I'll never forget, I always kept that for funerals.
Wow.
So that Saturday night, I tossed and turned. I said, I'm not going to church. But the word of the Lord had been planted.
My God.
So I showed up. And it was funny because when I walked into church, the whole church looked back like, what in the world is he doing here?
Then a surprise guest.
Yes, I tried to sit in the doorway if I could have, but she saw me.
Wow.
And she said, no.
She was expecting you.
Yes, she said, come.
My God.
So I said, like, closer to the middle. But it seemed as if she was only speaking to me.
My God, you had an audience of one.
Yes.
Talk to us, sir.
But she was speaking from a different place, not in a place of just say preaching. It was like she was telling my story.
Wow.
So only thing I remember is when she said the doors of the church are open, I left.
Okay, she said the doors of the church are open,
Yeah.
and you were like, you booked.
I'm out.
Okay.
So I ain't going that far.
Okay.
But I think God sometimes says you don't need the whole thing right now.
Okay.
Because some things you will learn as you go. But here I am, like I said, still troubled, still out with that pressure of the world.
Yes.
How do I make it? How do I fit in? But I'm not going to fit in any scenario. And where I believe I got my deliverance was in the streets.
Wow. Talk to us, because here you are. You're wilding out.
Yes.
You're a bad boy.
Yes.
Anything that you could do, you do.
Did.
So let me ask you a question. When did this habit, what happened that caused you to kind of turn to alcohol or drugs? Or was there a traumatic experience or a time in your life that you can remember, like, my God, this is a tipping point?
Yes. Well, there was not a time that I could say since I knew myself, there was not a time that I felt comfortable within the setting. Teenage mother, back in the 60s.
Yes.
And during those times,
Yes.
That was a stigma.
Okay.
My dad was an alcoholic.
Okay.
And, he was in the streets. So, I had a guardian. So I never really fit in with the scenario that I was raised in. Then in the neighborhood I was in, it was a community.
Yes.
But a lot of the community, they had brothers, sisters, they had ties, they had, different things and elements that basically made them a part of the community.
Okay, so it pulled you in.
Yes.
You were engrafted into your environment.
Right.
Okay.
But I was raised by the whole community.
Okay, you were raised by the community.
So never knew my mother and father.
Okay.
Raised by guardians, elderly people in a house where it was maybe built for 4, but it was 7 people. There was always somebody, the lady, the guardian, Miss Ruth Brown, that took me in.
Yes.
She basically raised everybody's kids.
Okay, God bless her.
So as I would going to school, you don't know your daddy.
Okay.
But your neighbors, their daddy is in the home.
Oh.
So if I come over, of course, they call me Pete.
Yeah.
They said, well, Pete will be here. So it was like, Pete's here, but Pete don't have a mother and father.
Wow.
So that stigma then attached to, I was always sort of a nerdy guy that tried to prove himself.
Okay.
The skinny guy that couldn't fit in.
No belonging, no sense of belonging. Yeah.
Right. But I had to fight.
Whew.
So I'm fighting. I didn't know my siblings, but at the same time, I'm playing around my siblings, or not my siblings, but my family, my cousins.
And you're not aware
No.
of none of this stuff.
No.
So here you are, a child of the community,
Yeah.
not attached to mother or father because of teenage scenario and life's issue. And
Yes.
you are being raised by this angel
Yes.
and the community, but inside there's a quiet rage, and you don't fit in, you don't fit because you're seeing this and you're seeing the family, you're
Right.
seeing, but you have none of that.
None of that. And also, you got to understand, it's a lot of stigma, or in other words, I hope this is appropriate, but the bastard child.
No, that's fine. I mean, this is safe space.
Yes. And when we went to Africa, they were saying that, you know how he talked about the firstborn.
Yeah.
So here I was the firstborn, but at the same time, my mother gone. When I first meet my mother and identify, then now she's pregnant again.
Okay, so here is a story of trauma. Here's a story of no sense of belonging when you came into the earth.
Right.
You're born to a teenage mom. Your father is alcoholic out there doing his thing, and you know who your dad is, but there's no relationship. Here's this angel in the community who housed you, and others in the community embrace you, but inside you belong to no one.
Yes. But I didn't know my dad.
Oh, you didn't know him yet. You knew he was.
But
yes.
they always said you're going to be like your dad.
Oh, so that word. Okay, so they placed that stigma on you. You're going to be like your daddy, a daddy you don't know.
Right.
A daddy who haven't raised you.
Yes. Who was not in my life, period.
Oh my goodness, talk to us.
But like I said, everyone knew my dad.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't say this is what's going on or this is what's going on. So like this in a child's mind, if you're trying to say, well, why would their parents be there?
Mm.
So why would he have a brother and sister? And I have to go home to elderly people, to people who basically, they come off as the streets, he raised them. So it's always some type of a wandering of the mind.
In your psyche, in
Right.
your mind,
Right.
spirit of rejection,
Yeah.
because you don't belong to anybody, or
Right.
nobody's taking claim to you.
Yes.
So that's now seeped in. And then people that knows your dad is prophesying
Right.
your future.
Yes.
Okay, talk to us.
Yes. Now, at the same time, this is a Christian one.
Yes.
But on the other side, the ones that are there, they're basically in the hustle game.
Yeah, yeah.
So at a young age, I see people that hustle and I see people that go to church.
Yeah.
Look like the people that go to church are under strict restrictions. They're under certain laws or rules. And the other people, they live without laws.
Oh my God, that's good
They
stuff.
literally can go out and do whatever. Now they're going to respect the religious
Yeah.
people, but at night,
Yeah.
it's all in.
All in. And you,
So I'm like,
and you were like, okay, here. So I'm all in.
I'm wearing my oxygen, and I feel this side over here.
My God.
But it's something being implanted that I can't really say, okay, I agree with you,
Yes.
but it's something decent about it.
Yeah.
It's something peaceful about it.
Yeah.
But yet, here it was on this side. I know this side.
So you went for that side.
Yes.
And so the addiction started and the wayward living early.
I actually started DJing the club at 15.
My God.
So I was sneaking out of the house, going to the club, DJing.
What was
the
your
club.
DJ name?
DJ Peel was my name,
Okay.
but I was a Parliament Funkadelic. And, forgive me, Saint, forgive me.
No, there's nothing for you. This is behind you. You're moving forward.
Yeah.
You're sharing the story of grace.
Yes,
It's a grace story.
yes, very much. But that side was always there. But, you know, God is so tremendous
Yeah.
because his eyes are on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I know he watches over us. Of course, I'm dealing with the issues of life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a grounding.
So thanks for sharing that. And I hope there's people out there that have similar experiences, and sometimes we're in the gated community called the church.
Yes.
Can I say gated community called the church? And we won't open the gate to go in and out. We are secured behind our gated community. And so here you are, and here is an angel that's doing what she believes is her call,
Yes.
and is to take in the orphan, the widow, the fatherless, the downtrodden, people, the ones that nobody wanted, or so they seem. And so here you are, and you chose to go over the wild side.
Yes.
And you're DJing at 15, you're doing all manner that comes with that side.
Yes.
And so now when did the relationship, or when did you come to your senses or yourself to say, okay, wait a minute, Pete, this doesn't work?
Well, that was, again, knowing something, but not knowing something.
Okay. Expound on that for me.
If a person is in the streets, they're not necessarily saying that this is my source, but they're saying this is my family.
Okay.
So if you have someone that, if the preacher would come to the house,
Yes.
I would see people act different.
Okay.
So if I saw, okay, when the preacher comes, you act like this, but during the weekday, you act like this.
Okay.
But then when I see this one gets beat up, the police has dragged them out, come into the house and drag them out and beat them in the yard. And I'm seeing some of the ramifications from that lifestyle. I'm seeing people get cut. I'm literally seeing people who are dying on the streets.
Wow.
Or you're seeing the degradation of societal dysfunction.
Yeah.
And someone else is saying, if you come on this side, then you get peace, you get joy, you get all of these different promises.
Yes.
But the preacher has to be there. So it's always associated with, if the preacher is there, then you get it. If this side is there, then you get this.
Yeah.
So there's no real coming to an agreement that God is God.
My God.
That God, regardless of where you find yourself, he's God.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you're trying to justify and rationalize.
Yeah.
Why is all of this happening?
My God.
And God started to really deal with me, not necessarily from what I was seeing or being involved with, because like I said, I don't feel like I fit in.
Yeah. So you don't fit in on this side, you don't fit on this side, but this side seems to be the side that wilding out and make you forget your troubles.
Yeah. And that's family.
And that's family.
Yes, because they will make you feel like family. One thing about the streets will always say, this is family.
Okay. So they're about code and a language.
Right. They're not going to tell you that, okay, you're gonna wear all of this trouble. Yes. They'll say, you my family. So I'm going to watch your back. I'm with you. If we got to go down, we go down together.
Wow.
So that's a false family.
Okay, so that's what you were using. At that time, that was your safety net.
Yes.
And everything of that was a part of that family, the wilding out, the drinking, the drugging, the getting locked up, the fighting the police, the lawless side of that.
Right.
You were a recipient of that lawlessness because it's family.
It's family.
And family's family, that's all you know.
That's blood.
Whew.
And they take you in, faults and all.
Ooh, faults and all.
Yeah, faults and all. Your warts are out there.
So no investigation, no nitpicking.
No nitpicking.
Come as you are.
We'll put you right where you want to be.
And do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Your freedom is whatever you want to do.
You need a little money here.
Yeah. Go get high and fly high.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Up, you can come here.
My God.
Police get you, come check with.
My God.
That's at the front.
Mm.
But behind that door.
Behind the scenes.
Yes. It's pain, it's trouble, it's struggles.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, you got a hierarchy. So I'm the child. Don't talk.
Okay.
unless you talk, unless we ask you to speak, and we're not gonna ask you to speak. Don't talk.
So we don't care about your opinion over this
Right.
church side,
Right.
over this side that seemed peaceful,
Yes.
but you don't have any opinion.
If there's not enough food on the table, you get the scraps.
My Jesus.
So the grown-ups, of course, they get, their food,
The first
they're
pick.
working right. But as a child, you're saying, wait a minute, hold on. There's something wrong with this.
Mm.
So that sweet angel, that guardian, that
Yes.
was the glue,
Yes.
she died when I was 16.
Oh my God.
So basically, I was raising myself after, just say about the age of 16 going into 17, there was now no structure in place.
So folks, here is this. This is Pastor Brown telling his story, and hopefully his story can capture your attention. He's telling his story raw, real, live, as he can recall. Why is he doing that? Because he's trying to tell you that there's some real stuff over on the other side.
Yes.
That people are born into, that people are introduced to. That's all that's available for people, because we on this side have a gated community and the gates are closed. And here is this angel who died when he's 16. So now he's raising himself. So can you imagine the trauma? And I oftentimes tell people that when people come into the kingdom,
Yes.
to the Lord, they're coming with trauma. They're coming with life experience that may not look like the person standing in the pulpit. Their story is so colorful and so different and so real to them that if you are not careful, when they come, you'll send them right out the door. You won't even be able to identify with them. And I'm so intrigued by your story. So at 16, here you have, you're a DJ at 15, you have a family on that side, you're whiting out, they're whiting out, but they make you have a sense of belonging.
Yes.
And on this side, you get what's left because you're
Yes.
the youngest. It's food, it's attention, it's
Yes.
communication, it's conversation. You get what's left. So on this side, even though it seemed peaceful, you have to climb the ladder of success to even be heard.
Right.
So pick up the story at 16. Here you are at 16, and you're being raised in your mind now based on things you're picking up.
Yes.
Talk to us, sir.
Well, this is the crazy part about it, because it's at this time that I really discovered that. Now, imagine when I graduated from junior high, I was already an alcoholic
My God.
and a drug addict,
My God.
but I played sports.
Okay.
So I had coaches, I had teachers that really, I don't know, it was a crazy scenario, but my teachers really believed in me. Matter of fact, they tried to put me in the slow class. So, back then we called it the slow class, and they said I had a learning disability.
Okay, the gifted class, yes.
Yes. And as a result, when they put me in this class, then it was a teacher, Miss Brown. And I'll never forget, Miss Brown walked by the door, it was a little window, and she stopped and looked back in. And she went and talked to the teacher, and she said, no, get him out the class.
My goodness.
And Miss Brown got me out the class. I was in her class, and she said, I would not let them put you in that class. There's nothing wrong with you. And Miss Brown had me go through all of these different classes. So by the time I'm playing sports, and by the time I'm in the 9th grade, literally, I got promoted. I got moved up a whole grade.
Wow.
So when I came in to the 10th grade, I went to Independence High School. Shout out to the Patriots.
Okay, Patriots. Shout out. Woo-hoo. Yes.
But so I'm basically taking advanced classes.
Wow.
But I'm the wild boy. I'm the
Mm.
one selling drugs.
Okay.
I'm the DJ.
Yes.
But I'm the sports star.
My goodness. Duplicity.
And I'm smart enough to know how to pass a test without literally studying.
Yes.
So I know, okay, I got a stylistic side,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't use it in the street.
Yeah.
And if they know, then, it's a kink in your arm.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting these forces.
Yeah.
But at the same time, thank God for my coaches and my teachers,
Yes.
because they're speaking truth.
Okay.
And they're saying, no, you have something.
Okay.
So again, here I am. I get in a fight with the principal. Yes.
Okay.
So me and the principal get in a fight. So
Like physical fight or just
a
arguing?
physical fight.
Okay.
So I get expelled from school.
Okay.
I'm talking about lost the whole year. I'm in the streets full time now.
My God.
But literally, like I said, I'm hanging with these guys. They serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So a few of my friends, one of my good friends, we were supposed to rob a store.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God the seed had been planted.
My God.
And Miss Ruby Brown, she told me, she said, listen, she said, you're going to learn something, but I want you to know that there is a God and Jesus is his name. And she, with that seed planted, something wouldn't allow me to go that deep.
Yeah.
But, my good friend JD, he was murdered. They got caught, of course, went to prison. I started getting into trouble. At this time, I'm going back and forth to jail. I was supposed to go to the street academy.
Yes.
Or Jackson training. So, like I said, all of this, it doesn't make sense in the context of life.
Yeah.
What does my life consist of? What is it that I really want to do? So, of course, I talked to my other guardian, Mr. Will Brown, who that was the man of the house. Thank God for him.
Yeah.
Because he took me in and he kept me. So he helped me get back into school. Of course, now I lost the whole year.
Yes.
I was going to another school. I actually went to over to West Charlotte. But God just was saying, no, that's not where you're planted.
Yes.
I went back to Independence, graduated.
My God.
But they wouldn't let me walk across the stage. So the principal, Mr. Henry L. Hawkins, thank God for him too.
Yeah.
That's the one I got in a fight with.
Yeah.
He told me, he said, I'm going to let you come back to school and you're going to take the classes I picked. And he said, you're going to attend every single one of them. You're not going to do extracurricular activities. So I took basically double classes.
Yes.
I took photography.
Yes.
It wasn't anyone like us. And they were saying, you got to have a camera. I don't have a camera. They bought a camera for me. It's like, I went to drafting. But thank God I went to ROTC.
Yes.
So ROTC gave me double credits.
Okay.
I took 2 history. I took advanced biology. And what was funny was, like I said, at this time, I would smoke, drink, go to the club, go to work. Then they let me drive a bus. So I'm driving a bus. I ran track. I'm going through all of this. And where I'm going to is that it's people. And what I want to say is people are a resource.
Yes.
See, they can say they're family.
Yes.
They can pretend to be compadres.
Yes.
But they're not. But it's people.
Yes.
It's individuals who won't let you give up.
You had your own Underground Railroad experience being handed off and being purposed and destined without you naming it that, knowing that it was. So here you are, you've graduated from high school and you have trained conductors, underground people, God planned people navigating you. And so bring us to the story now. You've graduated from school. You're in ROTC. Where did that take you?
Well, what happened was that, like I said, sometimes the people who are your resources look like enemies.
Oh, that's good.
So they look
Say
like
that again.
Sometimes the people who are your resources, they look like your enemies. So I said, Mr. Hawkins, He was a motivating force because I said, I'm not going to let you defeat me. So as much as you want to tell me that I got to do this, this, and this, I'm going to show you I can do it. But his driving force was not to defeat me. His driving force was to motivate me.
My God.
He used to come up beside me and I'd be, he knew I was
Doing your stuff.
weed,
Yeah.
And he would say, young man, follow me. And we would walk through the school. And he told me, he said, this is my high school. He said, you will not sell drugs in my high school. And I was sitting up like, this man makes no sense. But at the same time, he was an educator. He knew potential. He knew that the value was on the inside, that the stuff that you was doing and dealing with, that would last. But the person on the inside,
yes,
that's the part that has to be motivated.
Yes.
That has to be strengthened. That has to be undergirded. That's the person that will fall through cracks, but you can find them. And if that person sticks and if that person pushes you in the right way, it motivates you. So he didn't allow me to graduate, but they allowed me to sit on the floor.
He didn't allow you to walk, but you graduated.
Yes, but this they didn't sign he didn't give me a diploma.
Okay.
So he said I had to go to summer school. So what I did was, with my smart self, I joined the military.
Okay.
So back then you could join the military. Excuse me, it wasn't a lot of stipulations.
Okay.
So I joined the military, passed ASVAB, did all of that, joined the military. And so my goal was, is this man is going to shake my hand. So I go to my first duty station, Fort Knox, and then I was being shipped out to go to Hawaii. And I passed the basic training, all of that. So I go back. This man gonna shake my hand and give me my diploma. So I found out, I said, okay, they have a diploma. And this is how God works to me. I have an animus that I want him to do something. And he dies. He died while I was in basic training.
Wow.
And so when I came back, it was disappointing, let me say, because he had passed. But he signed my diploma before he passed.
My God.
And when I got it and received it, and to look at it and to see his name, it put an indelible mark on me. So I went back to the military, and I rose up through the ranks. It was like, boom. I did all different type of, whatever.
Yes.
But the wild side was still there.
Yeah.
So I got into black marketing. I got into selling drugs, same stuff.
Yeah, same stuff followed you.
But I was a hard soldier.
Yeah.
And I did for 4 years. But unfortunately, it didn't end well.
Yeah.
And I wound up going to Fort Leavenworth.
Okay.
I did prison time.
Yes.
So that put let me say, if you want an education in life,
yes,
get incarcerated.
My God.
Now, I don't suggest you get incarcerated, but I'm talking about that's an education.
Yes.
Because not only do they take your freedom, they take your identity.
My God, say that again.
Not only do they really take your freedom,
Mm-hmm.
but they give you an identity.
Mm.
And if you get around people that you think you got a family with, and this is not my family, but I got to play nice because we're in the playpen.
Okay.
So you got to play by the rules. You got to do things that you wouldn't do on the streets. You got a cell boss. You got whatever. You got a hierarchy. People gonna be there.
Same thing that you grew up with.
Same thing.
Different place.
Right.
Yes.
But this is real.
This is real time.
This real.
Yes.
You don't know who you are, but they tell you. You got a number. You line up over here. You shower this time. You use this blade. That blade been used how many other times? Whoever used it. No control.
My God, they take control.
Yes.
They take control.
Right. All that you fought for, they take it. And it was through that that God started to get through this thick head that this is real life.
My God, we are going to pull up and take a pause break. Even right now, this is in real time. This right here is what you call authentic, uncut, unrehearsed, no cut on it. This is what you call being transparent because you've been delivered.
Hallelujah.
This is where you share your story of glory and grace. So we're going to take a break, but when we come back, what a captivating story. What honesty, what authenticity, what purity. Man, I can't wait to hear part 2 of this man's journey, this mighty man. And you haven't heard anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, you are just being brought up to real time, showing you where he's been, who he was born to. But that, folks, is not the end of the story.
Hallelujah.
Because, a comma doesn't end a sentence. And so we are putting a comma right here because you will have to tune in to hear part 2 of Grace and Glory. And we're going to call it Guts, Grace, and Glory. And this man of God is going to tell his story on Safe Space. So I'm glad you've tuned in. And I pray that something that was said grab you, stop you, and bring you into focus of what it means to be navigating life, being blind, blindsided, blinded, and wait to hear how this man of God received his sight. Until the next time, this is your prophetic purpose pusher, Pastor D, saying, pull up a chair, tune in, and let's go there. See you.